Hey everyone, it's Rick. There's the bubbles. How you doing today? I'm trying a different angle here today, so hopefully I don't get in the way. If I stand to the left, I'll just have my arm in here. I think it'll be all right. I'm just going to get started. I'm going to sketch a landscape in real quick with burnt umber. Burnt umber and black. It's got a little bit of black in that burnt umber, okay, just to make it darker. And I'm going to use a palette knife to do a sketch up here. Hopefully I don't get away. Let me make sure I shut the bubbles off. I did. This acrylic paint. Trying to motivate you guys to want to learn how to do some landscapes. Let's put, I'm going to put, since I'm on this side today, I'm going to put the mountain over here, the main peak, and try this if you haven't tried it yet, using a palette knife. We're going to sketch the landscape in, and hopefully it gives us some ideas here. I'm just going to do the top mountain tops first. I want to have maybe this swooping down like this. And maybe we'll have, let's have some distant horizon way, way back there, like that. Okay? We'll have this mountain in front here. I'll have the, you can shade your mountain in like this so you get an idea what it's going to look like. Although that's all going to get painted over. This is just to see, to get something put in so you can paint it. It's really cool the way I do this. Now I'm going to have a hill over here. I want to have some rocky ledges. So how I usually do that, we'll start it up here, go straight a little bit, and then come down, then go straight again, come down, and maybe a little straight there and come down like that. And we'll pull, let's pull that down just a little. And these are going to be like a cliff up there, okay? Now, what I've learned about doing cliffs like this, you don't want to make them too long because it's harder to paint in. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, I got a hair right here. My hair's getting long, people. I think I need to go get a haircut. I'm going to put just another hill right here in front of the cliff, okay? Bring it down. And then, you know, the more you rub the paint in here like this, you might get some ideas, okay? Like, what do you see in here so far? I see like maybe we can bring a pathway from way back there through here and then around here and then up to the front here. A little sneak a pathway when we're done. That looks kind of cool. These mountaintops here, these peaks, we'll put some trees up there later on. I'm not gonna, you don't have to put these in right now, because we know we'll put a few trees on top of these mountains here. Just a few small trees. This, I guess, is just going to be, we'll make that water back there. We can make that the ocean. If you wanted to, you could put a lighthouse maybe on top of this cliff, a small lighthouse looking out on the ocean, okay? Just some ideas. I'm just showing you how I create my artwork with a knife. Some people use a charcoal. You could use a pencil, or they make these charcoal rocks that are kind of cool. It does the same thing. You can really get it to blend in like this with color. You can do your shading. So this looks really good. I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a few hills down here. In the foreground now. Let's we got this going like this. Let's just run a foreground across like this. Straight across. Another hill, you see that? And then we could drop another hill right here in front. Just layer your, as we're moving forward, we're going to make different things, okay? And all these are going to have bushes and trees on them, so that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to end it there so we can get started on the painting. But doesn't that look cool? Let me see how it looks in the frame. Yeah, that's a pretty cool landscape. What I might do, I might make this mountain just a little taller, so it kind of fills this area in a little more here. But overall, that's a pretty good sketch. I think the mountain needs just to be a little taller to make it look symmetrical, you know what I mean? Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. It's you don't have to be worried about subscribing. I don't see who subscribes. It doesn't tell me who my subscribers are. I'm not gonna like inundate you with, you know, stuff. So I just want you to subscribe so you can learn how to paint. That's the only reason. These techniques I'm using, you're not going to probably find these in art school, because these are all my own ideas. So I'm sure some of the things coincide with art school, but this is all my techniques. So some of the stuff you won't even learn in art school. So, and like I said, I don't even know who subscribes to the channel. Somebody just sent me a message the other day just to introduce themselves, since I can't really tell who's subscribing. I'm going to try and create a drop right here. I think I did that the wrong way, yeah. Like that, and then kind of like those cliffs up there, but I'm going to make them make it down here. Like so this will be flat ground down here, and this will be a hill coming down to like a cliff here coming down. There we go. All right, that's enough. You could sketch in whatever you want. I kind of like that. That looks good. All right, I guess I'm gonna get started on painting. I'm gonna use blue, yellow, and red, and I'm gonna mix on the palette. Okay. So I'm using Utrecht acrylic paint, but you can use any paint that you like. Okay. Just put a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, and a little bit of red. Okay, those are the primary colors. You'll learn that in art school for sure. You can pretty much mix any color from those three, depending on what the color is from the company. Everybody's colors are a little different, especially the sap green. Like the Utrecht sap green is different than the Liquitex sap green. They're all different. And then the Winsor Newton sap green is different than Liquitex. They're all different. They got different values. They're not the same color. I'm going to use Alzerian Crimson instead of red, okay? Because this is good. Alzerian Crimson's good for landscape work. There's my three colors there. We'll mix everything from those three colors, okay? And I got black here, and I'm going to drop a little white over here. I'm going to try and use a little less white than normal so it doesn't look so opaque. But the way I do my mountains, I'll make them like a dark gray, so I need to use some white, you know. Let's start by just mixing. We know we're going to need a blue sky, right? So let's put the sky down here. Grab a little bit of blue. That's ultramarine blue. Put it down here and grab some white and mix that. That's going to be our sky. I want it light. You can always darken it up. Now I'm going to need some gray for my mountains and my cliffs. So let's grab a little bit of white. We'll put the mountain color right up here. It's okay if there's blue on it. Grab a little black and let's make a grayish color. You can mix the blue in there too, doesn't matter. That'll be the color of the mountains. So we can just fly through this real quick. And I've already mixed sap green with black in it. Okay, that's going to be for my trees and stuff. And I'm going to use a filbert brush. I think this is a 10. Let's do the mountains first. I feel like doing the mountains first. Just grab some gray and let's put the mountains in right now. Just block it in. You could leave some of the dark in there if you want. Maybe it'll end up looking like shadows, okay? But I'm going to cover up a lot of that with snow and stuff. We'll just block the mountains in with gray. I'll probably leave this small one back here light gray, the one that's way back there. And we'll just concentrate on making this mountain in the front look good. Just like that. These are going to be cliffs, so grab some gray, and for now just pull some gray color down so you know they're going to be cliffs. You don't have to fill it in all the way. Let's just put some gray undertone underneath there. Probably going to make them a different color. We'll make these cliffs, and we got some cliffs down here. We might as well just put some gray down here, just a little bit. I kind of like the way that they're dark. These will be cliffs. I want to lighten up the bottom of my mountain with a little bit of white. Just grab a little white on your brush, and let's lighten up the bottom here. Pull some of the white kind of down like this. There we go. That's good. All right, let's do the sky now. I got a little gray on my brush, but that's okay. I'm just going to grab my blue and start putting some blue up in the sky here. It's okay if a little gray gets in there. It's a light blue. I'll run some dark streaks in there in a little bit, darker blue. Now grab a little bit of white, titanium white, and pick up some of this blue here and start bringing it down to the mountains. Just a little titanium white. It's going to lighten up the horizon area. I'm kind of picking up a little blue and then bringing it down. I'm not using an underpaint today, so I'm trying to fill in the sky pretty good. I don't want any of that white to show through, and I'm using the paint pretty heavy. I'm not using hardly any water today. Let's put a little titanium white around the edges here where I didn't put the blue. I'm trying to talk louder. I'm going to go get a microphone probably next week. I have to get an interface. I have to get an interface that plugs into the iPad. Then I plug the mic into the interface, and I could probably put the mic right up here and I can talk right into it. That's what I'm hoping. I kind of changed the camera angle. Hopefully that's working out okay. I got to put a little more white down. I'm going to blend some clouds in the sky right now. I'm just going to whip some white streaks in there real quick. And then lightly blend those in. And hopefully those will look like clouds. But I'll come back to the sky in a little bit. But I just want to get some ideas going in there right now. That'll work for now. All right. Let's put our blue water in there. I'm just going to grab, we're going to have our ocean way back there. It's kind of different, huh? Having the water in the back. Like I said, you could design this. If you're good at making buildings, you could put a lighthouse right here if you wanted. All right, there's our ocean. Let's keep coming down now. So I'm going to make this green right here. I already have some sap green kind of mix, so I'm going to take a little bit of that and put a little yellow in it to lighten it up. And I'm going to use this green underneath the cliff here. Just block it in. Block in this green. It's going to be coming down to the top of these cliffs down here. Look at that green. Wow. I really like that. Let's make this one darker because this will be in the shade down here. So that light green, just add a little more dark to it from the sap green to make it darker. So we get some different shades of green in here. And just block it in there. So it's coming from here to there. This would be maybe in the shade because it's lower down. Down here, let's make a beach down here. On the bottom of these cliffs, it'd be like sand down here. So we got to make some yellow ochre, which I like to make. I like to make yellow ochre. Take a little bit of the red, a little red and yellow. You're going to make an orange, right? Everybody knows orange and red make, or yellow and red makes orange. Now take some black, a little black over here, just a little, mix it in that orange, and you're going to get a brownish color. Look at that, it's like a reddish brown. I would use this. This is brown here, but I got black in it, so it would turn green if I put yellow in there. Now take a little bit of that brown. We'll put it down here. And let's add some yellow to it. We're going to make a yellow ochre. And that's going to be the color of our sand down there. Okay, good enough. Let me get my brush. I'm going to get a smaller brush. This is number 8. These are all acrylic brushes here. So let's put our sand in down here with the yellow ochre. It's going to have a red tint to it because that alizarin crimson is really a cool color. So we're going to say this is going to be like a sand underneath those cliffs there. That looks cool. I really like that. Let's. I'm going to use some of this color over here now under the mountain. I'm going to lighten it up. I'm going to take a little white into that yellow ochre and make it a little lighter. And just put underneath my mountains here like a brownish color. We could put a few hints of grass out there in a little bit. I'll run some of it up into the mountains so the mountain doesn't look so big. Just like that. All right. Let's so down here I'm going to make this dark green. Thinking, yeah, dark green. So I already got sap green here again. I'm going to take that sap green and I'm just going to make this hill green. And I'm just going to block it in, okay? Block in the whole hill with color. I still got a little brown on my brush, which is okay. We want to have different colors down there. Okay, good. And over here, I'm going to make this dark brown. I'm going to use the brown that I used to sketch the painting. All down here at the bottom. Dark brown. Let me wet my brush a little. I'll make some rocks down here. There we go. All right. That's the underpaint. Look at that. A lot of colors in there. I kind of like that. I don't know if I like the cliffs. I don't like the cliffs yet. I might have to turn them into mountains or trees. I'm not sold on these yet. We'll have to see. Let me put some snow on my mountain there, and let me design this part right now. Get it done with so it looks good right here. I'm going to use a knife. Let me design some snow up here first. I'm going to keep that one way in the back there. I'm going to mix a little blue and white for my shadow side of the mountain. Little blue and white. A little gray. This is going to be for the shady side of the mountain. I'm going to go fast. I'm going to get loose with my knife. See if I can make this look cool. There we go. Not bad. I'm going to lighten up the bottom of my mountain. Get a rag over here. Let it dry for a second. I want to put a mist. I want to put a mist on here, but this is, got to let that dry for just a second. I'm going to re-hit some of this up here to get a better angle up there. A little more color. There we go. You know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna run to Michael's and go get I'm gonna get some of the. There's this agent you can put in your paint that'll help the paint stay wet longer, so you can blend. You can blend the acrylic paint before it dries. Have you ever used that before? There we go. Now I got to fix some of the blue up. I kind of like that. I kind of like this look. There we go. I just didn't want to cover the whole mountain. So this stuff that you can buy, it'll make the paint stay wet, and then you can blend it just like oil paint. That looks cool now. I'm going to bring a little more blue down right here. If you notice, I put some mist down there, but I covered up most of the mountain. But you can put it back. You can put it back in when you're done putting the mist in there. If you lost your mountain. I got some stuff on here that's making lines in there. See that? You probably can't see it on there, but there we go. I kind of like that. That looks good. Run a few more hills back in here. All right, that's looking good. Wow, I spent some time on that mountain, but I kind of like it now. I like it. Get the edge of this a little more detailed up there. All right, there, that's a cool mountain. I really like that. I'm going to put a white line, if I can. This knife has like a imperfection on it. A white line at the back of my water. Look at that. This is really taking shape now. Doesn't that look cool? That looks pretty wicked. Let's see if anybody's on Saturday morning. I can't really tell if anybody's on, but you'll get to watch this later because I'll upload this after I'm done. All right, look at that. I'm still not sold on this here. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if that's going to look good right here. I don't know. Let me try and work it like a mountain, see what happens. Uh, I'm going to try and work it like a mountain, and we'll see what comes of it. Might be all right. All right, we got some cliffs there. All right, I'll put some foliage up there. I think it'll look good. Let me get I'm gonna lighten up the bottom of this grass here a little bit. Put a few hills in here. Very good. I'm gonna put some trees in now. I think if I put some trees in here, it'll help me design it better. So I'm going to use a number 2 fan brush with my dark sap green and burnt umber, okay? And let's put some trees in here, right at the bottom of the those cliffs. Just punch in some trees there. Or you're going to watch me punch them in. What I did here, at the bottom, I pulled some of this color out and then some of this color out. and then up here. And then it adds a little more color into that grass there. Trying to make this like a far away, I want it to be a far away scene. It looks far away to me. I'm going to probably put one big tree right here at the end to get us into the foreground, okay? You got to have something in the foreground. I was thinking about putting, you know, maybe you could put an old wagon wheel down here. I saw a picture. You could put an old wagon wheel here just laying in the ground. That'd look kind of cool. So I'm thinking up here, there could possibly be a tree up here on these cliffs. Let's put one up there and see what it looks like. There's some foliage up there. Let me see what that looks like in the frame. Well, it's in there now, so. I have seen trees on top of cliffs before. Maybe we'll just put small bushes on this one. Or small trees. All right, this is where ideas come from. This looking pretty good. Oops, I'm grabbing the wrong paint here. So we're gonna have some distant trees kind of coming down here. If you bring them down like at an angle like this, then you can pull the bottom to the right and create a shadow there for grass. Just like that. Let's do another row that's a little further back here in the distance. These are going to be really small. Pretty good. Pretty good. I wish I could do a lighthouse right now. That'd be good. Like right on the other side of these cliffs, just the top part of the lighthouse, you know. Boo-doo-boo. It's looking pretty good. Kind of liking it. Do do do. Do 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 do. I'm getting ready for my big tree over here. The big tree. I think it would look good over here as well. I think it needs to go over here though. Alright, I'm going to have to move the camera. Unfortunately, I kind of like that position. I hope that worked out good. There we go. There we go. Alright, I know nobody likes to do this part, but it's got to be done. I'm going to try and miss that small mountain. It's got to be done. What I like about acrylic paint, because I did a lot of oil last year, I'll probably have to go back to oil a little bit here and there, but with acrylic, this is already dry, so if this was oil going over this, it would still be wet. It would be hard to put this tree up there with oil, and you'd have to touch it very lightly, and it's a different technique, oil and acrylic, okay? But I'm trying to make this acrylic to look like oil. That's why I like this Utrex. This Utrex paint's pretty good. But I had pretty good luck with the Liquitex and Golden and the Winsor Newton. They're all pretty good. They're all good for landscape. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose a lot of this work I just did here, but that's okay. I'm going to have to create these branches and then highlight them because I'm going dark over dark. So you just got to kind of put the color in where you think it would go. And then I'll make the branches when I highlight it, okay? It's not that hard. Now I'll put a few bushes down here so I can highlight them. Just like that. We got a big tree over there. That looks good. So we got our foreground now. I didn't really cover up too much. I'm going to let that dry a second, then I'll highlight it. So underneath these cliffs, I'm going to use white, okay? Just right at the bottom of each cliff, I'm going to pull a little white out, almost like how I do the river, the riverbeds. Just a little titanium white underneath there. And then and then kind of blend it in. I probably used too much, but let me get a filbert brush. You can get some of that original brown if you want. And put some more color in there if you want to get rid of that opaque look. All right, let's do this tree now. I'm going to highlight it for you. I'm going to use the same color I used to make the tree and just put a little white in it. Just grab some white and lighten up that dark green. Fill up your fan brush. Looks like this is still a little wet here, so I'm going to do the top part of this tree. See that? Doesn't that look cool? Let me zoom into it. I can still put a wagon wheel in the front there. Yeah, that's an idea. I'm going to show you how I highlight these trees and bushes now. I'm going to zoom into that one section there. This is still a little wet. We could put a few bushes down here first if you want. You can't even really see bushes in there, can you? So you got to kind of pick them out. Now don't put any color on this part. You got to stay on the dark, light color on the dark color. Okay, let's put a bush right here. Touch it very lightly. Put one bush there. And I'm going to put one behind it. Kind of a long one. You got to kind of layer your bushes, okay? And I leave the bottoms dark. You could put twigs in there later on. All right, let me finish the tree now. So I'm barely touching the color because I want it to rest. I want it to rest on top of the paint. I don't want it to blend in. So, and I'm using mostly paint. I'm not wetting my brush or anything. This is mostly paint, okay? You can wet your brush a little if you want, but now since this is a big tree, I'm thinking some of the light might get around over here on some of these branches, so just hit the tips over here with some color. Just a few. Leave this one side all dark. There we go. There's that looks pretty good. I kind of like that tree now. We got something in the foreground. Somebody wants a wagon wheel in there. That would look cool. I wish the chat would stay on. I don't know how to get the chat to stay on. Yeah, thanks. This drives me crazy. Live chat. All messages are visible. Oh, there we go. Okay, all messages are visible. Now it's fading away again. I don't know how to keep the chat on. I don't know if you guys have dealt with trying to make a live. You got to have at least 500 subscribers to do a live. It used to be 1,000. You'd have to have 1,000 subscribers just to do a live video. Look how cool that mountain came out. All that work I put into it. See how it looks like it's far away? Like, oh, that was the bubbles. It still looks like it's far away because I blended all this light color down here. And I put light color up here. Looks pretty cool. I think what I'll do when I end this video, it's already over an hour, I'm going to do a few more things. And I may put a lighthouse in there on the other side of these cliffs. Just the top part of it peeking up beyond those cliffs maybe. This is looking pretty good. Since I made this foreground here, this is closer to us. I can put some bushes up here now. So I can go ahead and do that. And then I'll have some more bushes I can highlight. Those are a little lighter than I thought. I must have still had white on the brush still. I'll turn these into bushes. So there, the wagon wheel could go right there. Wouldn't that look cool? Nice wagon wheel. All right, I kind of like this one now. I'm going to do a few things on the clouds up there. Still got a few of you on here. I'll show you what I do on the clouds. Uh, if you're new to the channel, I quit smoking back in June, I think. I haven't had a cigarette since June, so I'm doing pretty good. This is just a little titanium white on a fan brush, and what you could do now, if you did this with your clouds, you can come in here and just touch the top of all these streaks with some white, just to brighten them up a little bit. Just on the top parts. You could use any brush to do this. Just gives it a little more flavor in the sky. All right, I'll work on that later when I shut off. I guess I'm gonna have to shut off here in a minute because it's already been over an hour. All right, I think here I'll highlight these bushes and then that'll be it. I put a little bit of yellow in it this time. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, that looks good. A little bit of yellow. Now, if you want to hit some more light in here, take a little bit of this yellow and just hit the top parts of some of these round spots with just a little bit of yellow. Just a little. And then we'll run up a light streak on this tree here. Just barely touch it with some yellow, like right down in here. It'll look like the sun's hitting right there. Just a little. Don't do the whole tree. It'll look funny. Let's put some small bushes, grass down here first. Alright guys, I'll highlight those after I shut the, I'm going to shut the video off now. I'm going to put a few birds up there though with my liner brush. Let me test it first. I left my brush in the water overnight and it made it crooked. Got to put some birds up here. To enjoy the scene. My brush is kind of messed up right now. There you go. I kind of like this design. I just did this on the top of my head. It still needs some work, but I'll do that, and I'll post the finished product on the community page. But there's the, that's all I'm going to do on it right now. Kind of cool. Yeah, I'll probably do a lighthouse there. Maybe, like I said, on the other side of those rocks, just the top part of it. Yeah. Or like I put a wagon wheel down here, an old wagon wheel. I could turn that into a river down here. See where all the brown is? You just put bluish gray water down there. There's a lot you can still do to this. Different colored clouds. I mean, that's what I mean. I'm just, you can use this design, and if you tried to do this exactly, it's going to come out different. I just like that design. It looks kind of cool. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And, yeah, who's that person? Zero. Okay. I have a hard time reading the chat because it goes away so quick. Yep, thanks for finding the channel, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next live. I'm going to do one later on this evening. All right. You too, have a good day, and see you later.